Now, though, we're going to talk about the country and the world commemorating the 20th anniversary of 9/11, a show of unity across America. Both President Biden and the former President George W. Bush were calling the patriotic response after the attacks and contrasting that with the polarized politics of 2021.
The day focused largely on the nearly 3,000 people killed in New York, Pennsylvania, and at the Pentagon, the heroes, the acts of courage on that painful day, and less so on what followed, including 2 wars and thousands who lost their lives in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Overnight in New York City, the now familiar tribute in light sending blue beams into the sky on the anniversary. This time, many buildings across the city also illuminated in blue. For more on the remembrance this morning, we begin with ABC's Trevor Ault. Good morning to you, Trevor.
Good morning, Eva. You know, it's become a common cliche to refer to the September 11th attacks as the day that changed everything. And it is an accurate one. But there's been one constant over these past 20 years, the prevailing resolve that we should not and we will not ever forget. And yesterday, the echoes of the past, the heroism, the sacrifices were once again spoken through the voices of our nation.
Across every corner of the country, states red and blue alike, tributes and testimony, memorials and moments of silence, as this weekend America reaffirms that even after 20 years, we remember. At Ground Zero, the Pentagon, and that field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, the toll of the bells for the lives lost but never forgotten.
Brings back the moment you got the phone call. Brings back that instant you got the news, no matter how many years go by.
President Biden paying tribute at all 3 sites Saturday, stopping by a Pennsylvania firehouse and standing alongside the Obamas and Clintons where the World Trade Center towers once stood.
I'll see you in my dreams.
There, the names of the fallen spoken again for the world to hear.
You will live on in our hearts forever. And may love and peace always prevail.
Alongside that somber sorrow, a profound sense of gratitude.
To this day, we are still inspired by your heroism, kindness, and selflessness.
The cadets who are taking the field with 3 first responders.
At West Point, the Army football team taking the field, every player armed with an American flag, and the tribute stretching beyond our borders. The British Army playing the American national anthem, NATO laying a wreath at the 9/11 memorial in Belgium, even astronaut Shane Kimbrough reminding us from the International Space Station,
we will never forget.
And as prominent as the memory of the tragedy of the September 11th attacks is the memory of the unity that followed them, an America that came together, an idea that today may seem like a relic of the past.
And we have seen growing evidence that the dangers to our country can come not only across borders, but from violence that gathers within. On America's day of trial and grief, I saw millions of people instinctively grab for a neighbor's hand and rally to the cause of one another. That is the America I know.
And the recurring hope from speaker after speaker, parents, children, first responders, or simply Americans, is that that sense of solidarity is still within us.
And when we say never forget, that it's not just a word or a catchy phrase, that it's that we never forget the American unity that we felt after those days. That's what mattered. It was the response. And we can get there.
And if you watch just about any retrospective on the September 11th attacks, they almost all seem to begin with the fact that 20 years ago that morning, it was a perfect day outside. And yesterday, we had just about the same thing. New York City and the nation and the world at large reflecting under a crystal blue sky. Whit.
A somber day, but as you noted there, Trevor, the recurring hope and inspiration that went along with it. We thank you very much.